Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me on the Give and Go podcast. We'll be putting out another soccer podcast. Have a player from Colts, the goalkeeper Mia Nikolic. Mia, thank you for joining me this afternoon. A couple weeks before the season's getting ready to kick off. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Can't wait to get back into it.
Now, your senior year, you're expecting a deep run in the postseason with Colts.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, we'll get into last season because it was kind of up and down last season for Colts Neck, but we'll get into that later. I want we'll start off from the very beginning. How old were you when you first started playing soccer?
I started around 5, 6 years old. So kind of young, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about normal for soccer. 4, 5, 6 around that age.
Right,
Did
right.
Now obviously back then it was probably everybody was on the field just running around in a circle.
Mhm.
But you're a goalkeeper. It takes a special mindset to be a goalie. When did you, well, first of all, how did you become a goalie, and when did you realize that was your position?
I never wanted to be a goalkeeper. I always wanted to be on the field. I wanted to score goals. And then around middle school, I had Seaver's disease. So I couldn't run. And I would have like these hard pains. And so my coach at the time was like, all right, you got to go in goal because no one else wanted to do it. And I hated it. I was so mad at her. I was like, I don't want to do it. And then I was playing all the time goalie. She would make me play one half and put someone else in the other half. And then over the years, I was like, all right, maybe it's not that bad.
So about middle school, you started playing goalie. Okay.
Yeah, I would do
Um,
both. So up like in middle school, I did both, and then for the middle school team, I only played field. I was like a midfielder. Yeah, so it never sunk in that I could just be a goalie.
so what were you diagnosed with?
Seaver's disease.
Can you describe that? I never actually heard of that.
It's like when you're growing, you get like these pains in your heel, and it'll like
Okay.
shoot up, and like you just can't run. But then when you stop growing, it like goes away. So now I'm fine.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've never heard. That's good to know. And being a soccer player, that is definitely gonna prevent you from developing, as good as
Yeah,
you want to.
no, it was hard. Yeah.
Did you do any other sports when you were younger?
So before I played soccer, I danced. My sister danced, so I wanted to dance with her. And then I decided I wanted to do soccer also. So then I did soccer, I did gymnastics, dance, basketball, and swim. I did swim for a while.
What was it about soccer that that was your priority when you got to high school?
Soccer is just very competitive, and I loved like being on a team with people. Swim and soccer are my top, and then obviously swim's all alone. Like you just put your head in the water and swim. And soccer is the complete opposite. And I liked being around people and being able to have
Yeah,
friends.
yeah, those are definitely complete opposite.
Yeah, totally.
Unless it's maybe the relay team, but how often are you in relay races?
Yeah, no, not too often.
So you brought up you have a sister or older sister.
Yeah, I have an older sister. She's 19, so she's in
Did
college.
did she play soccer at all or any other
No,
sports
she
or just
danced.
dance? She just
Yeah, we're
danced.
complete opposite. Yeah, full dancer.
Okay. So I can't ask if it was very competitive growing up. I mean, if she
Yeah,
didn't really play.
no.
Okay.
Only competitiveness is like, oh, dance is harder. Like, that's really it.
That's funny because my niece is my older one is the soccer player, and my younger niece is the dancer, and
Yeah,
she just started competition dance, and I could see those arguments starting very soon.
that's like the argument. Which one's harder?
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that definitely happening. But I reward my niece, the soccer player, not for goals, but if she does certain things on the soccer fields,
Mhm.
because I don't want her being a ball hog because I get $1 every time I score or something. So certain moves. So my younger niece, who doesn't play soccer, was like, I need to get rewarded for dance. So she made a list of very difficult moves. If she does in her competition, she'll get rewarded. But yeah, so I guess it is always a competition between the
Yeah,
siblings, even in different
always.
sports. I want, talk about your parents, how they helped you in your development.
So my dad he played soccer. He's from Bosnia, so he's not from here. So he played soccer all his life, and then
Okay.
played volleyball also. He was a professional volleyball player. So he was very big on like pushing me in sports. And then my mom, she never played sports, but she was always like the biggest cheerleader of like oh yeah, good job, but she doesn't really know what she's talking about.
What position did your dad play for soccer when he played?
I don't know, honestly. I'm not really sure.
Is he a after a game critical? I mean, obviously they're always going to be supportive, but um, how is he like after a game? If like say you're feeling down, does
Are
he
we
try to
tough on
pick you up?
No,
What?
never. No.
I can see a Bosnia. I could probably see that too coming
Yeah,
from.
no,
Okay.
not at all. Tough on
No,
me
no,
always.
yeah, no coddling like it is here in the United States.
No, never. Never.
Okay. I mean, you're tough. You can handle it.
Yeah,
I'm,
most of the time. Sometimes I break down, but
who was a role model when you were growing up? Could be professional sports or somebody completely different.
related to swimming, my biggest like role model was like watching Michael Phelps, always like seeing him in the Olympics. I loved watching him always like winning. Like I always looked up to that.
Yeah, yeah, it was disappointing the last Olympics that
Yeah, right?
he wasn't there.
I
The
know,
team
it's so sad.
it just seemed like the team was completely different.
Yeah,
Like
they need him.
this, yeah, it just there was just something off the last Olympics. I don't know. It could be him and and his buddy, who's the one who always babysits. I forget her name, but she retired too. His best buddy, I forgot her name. She only did the freestyle.
The girl,
Yeah,
Ledecky, Katie.
no, not Katie. Older. She wasn't in the last Olympics either. She's like Michael Phelps' best friend. She was always babysitting Boomer. So
Really? I don't know.
it'll come to me like halfway through, but whatever. So do you remember your first? Forget about rec. Your like first club team that
Yeah, so I
you
played for the town team at first.
Colts
We
now? Yeah.
yeah, well, I played
Okay.
for Marlboro. I live in Marlboro. Um,
Okay.
so I played for Marlboro, and we had like a great like home travel team. So I did that for a while, and then that broke apart. So I went to Cedar Stars in Tin Falls,
Okay.
and I was a part of their DA team, and then I went to PDA for a little while, and now I'm back at Match Fit.
Match fit. Okay. Who's your current coach?
Right now, I had Jordan Raper. But now it's going to switch going into my final year, and I'll have Rob Leather.
Okay. Give me like one coach that really had a big impact on you.
I would say my goalkeeper coach at PDA. He's a Rutgers coach. He always would push me to be like the best goalkeeper I could be. Was always so supportive, but so hard on you too, and it really just pushed me.
Mhm. The next question I don't have to ask because you always played goalkeeper. When you well, you were up at PDA North, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was up
PDA
north.
North. Okay. Yeah, they're all great programs. PDA, obviously everybody knows how good PDA North always is, but Match Fit and they're getting bigger and bigger.
Right, yeah.
Down
I
in the
only
shore
just
area.
yeah, but they're getting huge. So
Yeah,
many people are coming.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's three Match Fit shore teams my niece's age, so they're getting pretty
really.
big. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know the shore too well, but
yeah,
up north, yeah, competitive.
yeah. I bet. And there's a Cedar up north, right? Too.
There's been a few. There's one in Bergen. There's I was at Monmouth.
Okay, yeah. Monmouth they get a lot of good players over there
Yeah,
at
especially
Monmouth.
on the boys. The boys side is very, very good.
Yeah, you don't really hear PDA on the boys' side. I don't even know if they have it in the shore PDA,
The
the
girls
boys.
overpower.
Yeah. So let's switch, over to high school. You're entering high school. What were some goals you set for yourself that you wanted to achieve through your career at Colts Neck?
I really wanted to beat like set records from past goalkeepers and try to get up there in numbers. And then I wanted to make like all shore teams and all of that. That was really like my goals.
Now, your freshman year, you were following some pretty big footsteps in that.
Yeah.
Tora, she had, a great career at
Yeah,
Colts
she was
Neck.
great.
What was some things, you got to be, like one season with her. What were some things she was able to like pass down to you?
She was really just positive all the time, no matter what. And she was put under a lot of pressure with the people in front of her, and she would always come out with a smile, always. No matter what. It would be 10-0, she's still smiling. So that was like huge.
Now, obviously, your freshman year, COVID was still around, and was up in the air if there was going to be a season. Did you think there was going to be a soccer season that year?
No, not at
No.
all.
Everybody gives me a different answer.
Yeah,
So
no. I thought I was gonna be sitting back on the couch. Like, I did not think so at all.
just real quick, stick with COVID away from soccer. How was that adjustment? I mean, you were in eighth grade, I guess, when schools shut down.
Yeah.
So obviously, what did like grammar schools do? They just shut down. Did you have like Zoom classes or that, or it was
At
just that was
Zoom.
it?
Well, in eighth grade, we didn't have Zoom. They would like send the assignments to the classroom so no one would do them. We were just doing our own thing. But then freshman year, we had the Zooms, but I was all home. We had like
Okay.
gotten a new dog and I didn't want to go in and like I had the choice. So yeah.
Was it probably a tough adjustment? You're used, especially being young, being eighth grade, you're not even high school, and all of a sudden this pandemic happens and school's completely different. You're not waking up going on the school bus anymore.
Yeah, no, totally. Completely different. Walking into like this huge school of like no one I know in a program because I'm an ROTC. So like a program that like it was so like eye opening.
I didn't know that's something else I could I'll bring that. I got two more questions. We're going to talk about the ROTC. What goals did you set for yourself your freshman year?
I really just wanted to prepare myself for when I would be able to step in because having her ahead of me was really like I would just sit back and watch her and be like, wow. Like,
I want to talk one game. I think you might even got in. I left because it was just ridiculously cold with the wind. The Manasquan game.
Antoine?
The man.
I knew it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was bad.
That was the first Colts net game I saw since I came back to high school, covering soccer, and it was brutal. Like I think I had my back to the field, not even watching like for part of the game because the wind was so bad, and they took a corner kick, or it might have been you guys that took a corner kick, and the wind just blew the ball into the net.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and I was like, that was when I was like, all right, I'm going home because that was great. And I think you got in that. Did you get in that game?
Yeah, I got in
So
like 10 minutes of that game.
did you've been a goalie for a while. Did you ever experience a game like that, like on the club side where it was that windy?
Never. I remember sitting on the bench and everyone who's on the field in their jackets, their
Yeah,
hats, everything. Oh, that was brutal. Very
yeah.
brutal.
When the coach Hine, he said he was so miserable on the side because it was brutal. It was so bad out that game.
Yeah,
And like people that are watching this, like no joke, the ball would on a corner kick, it would look like it's going to the 18, and the wind would actually just take it into the goal. Like
yeah.
nobody touching it. It was the
This
most craziest thing I ever saw. So yeah, so you never saw that ever before.
yeah, literally never. I was like scared that would happen this year. Nope. That hasn't happened since.
Any you talked about how Torres kind of how she was an impact on you. Any other seniors your freshman year that you were able to go to, or
She was really the only one.
I get, it's different when, a field player because you're interact, when you're a goalie, sometimes you two are just on the side,
Yeah.
doing your drills, you're not really, so I could see that. Okay. Now let's just talk, what made you interested in the ROTC?
I really wanted to get out of Marlboro, and I thought I'd be so interested in it because they say like how many athletes come into it, and it's just a good like structured program.
Yeah, it definitely teaches, discipline and structure. So sophomore year, what was your mindset knowing that, the starting job was going to be yours going into it? So what was your mindset knowing that, because starting as a sophomore is still pretty young. So what was your mindset?
I was definitely nervous going into it, but I remember our first game was SGV, and I had like the game of my life. I had so many saves. We ended up going like 1-1 or like 0-0, something like that, and like the coach would come up and be like, "Amazing game!" Like, and then I was like relieved. I was like, "All right, I got this. We're good."
Yes, that season he spoke a lot about, some of the amazing games that you would have and the defense, and you just couldn't get the ball in the net, and it would end in
Yeah,
ties or
totally.
something like that. And even last season a little bit, it was just, something, you see it all the time. You could attack the whole game and just if you can't just get that one in the net, it
Have like
hurts.
20 shots and we would miss all of them, and then someone else would have one shot and it would be like, okay. Like,
Yep, yep. I've seen that in plenty of high school games where the team would cross midfield once, and that would be the goal, and that'd be
yeah,
the difference.
right.
So now I don't really have a lot of questions. Your sophomore year. You did make it to the semifinals of Group Three.
Yeah. We definitely did better sophomore year than we did junior year.
Yeah, yeah. Last year, because I saw you, a couple times last season, and
hmm
it was just like a weird season, like
Yeah, it was rough.
because and I hate to say this during the Toms River North game in the Shore Conference, you girls go up 1-0, but they were really putting the pressure on, and I said you girls needed to get to halftime 1-0.
Yeah.
I said if Toms River it ties it, they're gonna end up winning 4-1, and I hated. I predicted the exact score,
Yeah.
and I was talking to another coach throughout the game, and I told him that when it was 1-0. He was like, how did you know that? Just the way Tom's River was really putting it on, because you girls had that chance to get that second goal to go 2-0 that just missed.
Right.
And that would have been the difference. That because 2-0 is way different than 1-0 on the mindset of an opposing team.
I know. That was the most frustrating game. They were just pounding us, pounding, pounding. We couldn't.
Yeah, they're always a pretty good team. So
Very, very strong.
so going into your junior year, I like to ask this to every basketball or soccer. What was something you really wanted to improve on from your sophomore year?
Um, just myself
Yeah,
or the team?
yeah,
Myself.
yourself.
I would say just trying to guide the team more positively instead of getting like frustrated when we weren't doing as well. Which I know Hein always says that like last year was like the team got along so well, and it was like such a coincidence that that's just when we could not figure it out like at all. Like everyone was best friends, we would do everything together, and we just could not win a game. Like not
Do
working out.
you do you think that'll carry over though for this year? Just everyone being so close, because eventually that's how teams struggle, is when teams are fighting with each other. Then if you're so
Right.
close, hopefully, So last year everyone came together, and you're returning quite
Yeah.
a good portion of your team um, this season. So do you hope that, all right, we got it, we're close, we got close, everyone, family type atmosphere. This is going to be the season.
I hope I could carry like the leadership too that last year the girls brought, because it was really just helpful being able to have such positive leaders helping us. So I hope we can do that. Yeah.
What is something you hope to pass down to the underclassmen now that you are going to be, one of the senior leaders?
I just hope that they could all have fun while playing, and also being able to like be competitive in our environment to do well, because overall if you're doing well, we're going to be happy. We don't want to be losing.
How do you feel? Do you know about this new like World Cup format during the
I
season?
talked a little bit about it, but I don't really know much about it.
So, you have your regular season, you'll have your division games, and then you're in like a group, like the World Cup groups, and you play. I don't think you play each. I think you only play two of the teams, and I think the first two teams. Don't quote me. I think they both advance
Okay.
automatically to the Shore Conference tournament, and then obviously other teams will get in, and that's how it'll affect the seeding in the Shore Conference tournament. I mean, it's different. It's definitely different. So I'm curious how it plays out. But yes, some coaches are still trying to figure it out. Players are still trying to figure it out. I'm still
Yeah,
trying to figure it out. So, but it's an interesting little change because we're the only conference doing that. So
right. Hopefully it works out.
yeah, so that'd be a question I could ask you at the end of the season. How do you think
Yeah.
about things?
Right.
Um, you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Yeah.
All right. Favorite movie?
Ooh. I don't really have a favorite movie. I'm not a movie watcher. I'm not.
How about TV show?
I love like competition. So like Big Brother, Survivor, Amazing
Okay.
Race, those kinds of shows.
Okay. How about favorite food?
Pizza, 100%.
Pizza. Favorite school subject?
English. I love English.
English. Your favorite number?
Ooh, like 11.
What before a game, what is your go-to jam to get you pumped up?
I don't have one. I like silence.
Okay. Uh, would you be interested in coaching or training once your playing career is over?
Maybe. Maybe.
All right, this is the last question for rapid fire. Something you enjoy doing when you're not playing soccer or school,
Going to the beach. I love the
beach.
beach.
Obviously that's the popular
Yeah.
answer, being from the shore conference.
Love the beach. Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's talk your future. What are you looking at in colleges?
I
Like
really
what
want
type?
to really I love warm weather. I don't like being in the cold weather. Like
So,
Manasquan,
so-
I don't want that.
okay, so south,
Yeah,
well,
big school. I want a really big school. Um,
football team is that because that just the past 12 months I realized how big a football team is part of girls recruiting.
yeah, yeah. No, I know because I mean I want to play soccer too, obviously. So
Okay,
really just everything that comes with a big school.
good. Okay. Do you know what you want to study?
I want to do forensic psych.
Forensics, like that sounds complicated.
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you hope to do with that after college? Like, what would your career?
I would like to work in a hospital and work in like a unit of that.
My sister does psych screenings in a hospital in the emergency room right now. So I'm
Does she like
pretty.
it?
Uh, I don't know. She's done it for a while, so she has another job and she hasn't quit that one. So I'm
Okay.
guessing
Sure.
she does, but it could be a little crazy. Some of the people that come in there,
Yeah,
and
I
some of the
know.
stories that I've heard. So, but I mean, she's the, you know, she obviously she graduated with a psych degree and she started working in a home with, I think, schizo
Okay.
patients. She was
Yeah.
in a group home. And now, you know, she works per diem at a hospital doing psych screenings. And now she does stuff with high school students. You know, she has, I don't know, talks to troubled high school students
Yeah.
in the Ocean County area. So she does like it. So I'm guessing if she didn't quit, it would be the thing.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
So it's a good field, and I know it pays well. So
Yeah.
good field. All right, this be my last question. What advice would you give your younger self?
I would just say everything happens for a reason, so there's no reason to really stress anything too little.
Okay. Prediction for this year. Could Colts Neck make the semifinals of the Shore?
Yes, yes, we can. We can win it all.
The Shore is so competitive. I
So
mean,
competitive.
look at that. I mean, Point Borough beat not only Toms River North, they beat RBC too to get to the semifinals. So it is so competitive once you get past Freehold.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't have to play them.
Two through 15, very competitive.
Especially with Castback, let's go around that.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure she has, you know, something to prove because I know she was upset missing last season.
So good.
So,
So good.
yes. So, all right, I appreciate you taking time out tonight and or this afternoon and
Thank you so
talk.
much for having me.
Yes, yes, and my stuff will be posted. Hopefully, be posted before the season, all the preseason stuff and my predictions and stuff. So it's very difficult when I don't have a partner like I do for basketball because you can't really
Yeah.
can't do a podcast talking to myself. So, but I appreciate you taking time out and good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
No problem.